Okay, hi guys. I'm making a video because a lot of people were sending me messages asking me to perform my slam poem out loud for a video. So I'm doing that now. I just want to warn you that I am not a good slam poet at all. Not at all. I love slam poetry, but I don't think I'm very good. So don't expect me to be like Hannah Beth or whatever. She's the queen of slam poetry. I'm just a loyal subject. Don't expect me to be like, whoa, awesome, because I'm not, trust me. This is actually going to be really awful, but I have to practice because I'm going to be in a show and you guys should all go to it if you live in West Palm. It's called Dry Fusion. Anyways, um, so this is a poem I call Lucky Penny. I keep adding to it and taking stuff out, so that might not be the title, and I don't know, we'll see. This probably is not the finished product, but I better practice anyways. So all right, I'm not good. I'm warning you. Don't be harsh or something. I'm not good. I swear. I know that. Okay. So, how does that make you feel? What do you mean? How does that make me feel? I'm 17 years old. Hormones raging, teen angst raining from my pores, and asking me, how does that make me feel? It's like asking me how I think trees feel when they're slaughtered in groups, raining leaves on rusted saws, raining bits of bark on the sweat covered brows of brown skinned men in foreign countries with large families who are just looking to make a few bucks. Well, I'll tell you what I think the trees feel. I bet they feel pity. I bet the trees are selfless. But me? By design, I'm flesh and blood. Instead of branches, I have arms and legs that never seem to be skinny enough for my father's taste, for my taste. Instead of leaves, I have eyelashes and nose hairs, fingers stained with a printed word, and toes that are just a bit too ticklish. Instead of bark, I have pockmarked skin and a dust of freckles, and it's really hard to feel pretty after watching all of those clear cell commercials. And when the trees don't make a sound, don't make a peep after being cut down, I find myself having conversations with my pillow. I tell it, sorry for all the teardrops, all the drool, all the times I bit into you to keep from screaming. I find myself telling it that I'm scared that the shadow in the corner of my room looks a little too much like It the Clown. And I'll tell you right now, pillows are great listeners. And so are alarm clocks when you whisper your 1111 wish. But lately, I'm having trouble figuring out what I want to wish for. And the shooting stars, they're my friends. I used to ask them what it's like when life ends, but they're already dead when they hear me. I don't think they would know the answer, anyways. And what do you do when you don't want to hang out with friends? You just want to curl up under blankets and drink decaf coffee because you're afraid regular will keep you up at night with all the demons and cold sheets and creaking floors and remind you that you're sleeping alone. And what do you do when you meet a boy who burns holes in your chest with his eyes and his mouth, who tastes like rosebuds and musical notes, who makes you feel like the only place you belong is beneath the bones of his rib cage, between the purple flesh of his lungs, so that every breath he breathes, you breathe together? What do you do when he suddenly cuts off your air supply? And you're left choking on the carbon dioxide I call a little dose of unrequited love. What do you do when he gives that air to someone else? They don't teach you that in high school. How does that make me feel? Ask me when high school's over. Ask me when I'm barely paying my way through college. Ask me when my eyes are red-rimmed from lack of sleep and the secondhand smoke of my rebellious roommate's cigarette. Ask me when I'm trying to write my first novel because there seems no other way for me to get money than to write until my fingers are shriveled and cramped. Ask me when I'm trying to explain to a boy why I can never love him by writing him a stupid poem. Ask me when I start going insane. How does that make me feel? I don't know, but I think we all have to lose our minds sometimes. And I once knew a girl who you could always find standing in the dust of a passing train. She said she liked the burning metal of a lonely penny on her fingers after it had been flattened by the 6:45 to West Palm. She liked the burning so much that one day she put her own fingers down on the tracks just to see what it was like to be crushed. And I see her around sometimes. Pretty smile, and little stumps, little tree trunks for fingers. One time I asked her if she ever regretted that day, but she just smiled at me and said, "Nope, I felt like a lucky penny." How does that make me feel? Well, let's just say I'm still hoping to one day feel that way. That was so bad.